In a world in search of streaming guidance, two mild-mannered wannabe film critics bring you their reviews on the latest streaming releases. Nerds by art and heart. This is Real Streamers with Eric and Ryan.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. I'm Eric.
And I'm Ryan.
Hello Ryan.
Hey Eric.
So today we're going to be discussing a docuseries. We're going to go take a little turn from a normal theatrical movie. And this is something you suggested, Ryan. Is there something in particular that made you decide to go this route or
Well, I wanted to see this docuseries because of the hype that it was getting. I thought it was a very interesting topic, and that I just personally initially thought it was an interesting topic, and then I started reading along that a lot of people were finding it disturbing, and one of the comments was that people were starting to have trouble sleeping at night. So I wanted to see if the hype was real.
Oh, interesting. Very nice. So we're going to go over the series. We have some topics of discussions here. Hopefully you've seen it because there will be spoilers if you haven't seen it already. And at the end, we'll be rating it based on our Reels rating system. Sound good, Ryan?
Sounds awesome. Can't wait to go over it.
All right, let's get into it. So right now sitting at 67% on Rotten Tomatoes. It was directed by James Carroll and Tyler Russell. This is Night Stalker, The Hunt for a Serial Killer.
There was no pattern.
Anyone could be a victim. He went after old people, young people, men, women.
It's unheard of.
We've never encountered anybody like that in criminal history.
Everybody was talking about it.
I'm scared. I think everybody else is scared.
It's a cruel,
Pressure was on
summer.
to stop the madman that was doing all this.
So we start trying to piece all this puzzle together.
We were in for a roller coaster ride.
It's the only time in my entire life that I slept with a gun.
All right, here is a summary. Summary we got for Night Stalker is this limited docuseries tells a true story of how one of the most notorious serial killers in American history was hunted down and brought to justice. And that's it.
That's it.
So obviously, Ryan, we're talking about Richard Ramirez, a Night Stalker, terrorized LA for a good many months. Many victims, probably even more than what they suspect. Those were some scary times. This was early 80s, Ryan. I know we were around. We were young kids. Do you remember any of this as a young lad?
No, actually, I don't remember any of it. I think it was around 84, I believe.
84, 85, yeah.
Yeah, so I was focusing on learning my colors, stuff like that.
I actually do remember a little bit of this.
Wow.
I remember being scared. Honestly, I don't know if it was maybe like post capture or pre-capture, considering I was, I guess, like 5 years old, But
Yeah.
I do recall being scared and worrying about this, living in the San Fernando Valley at the time in lovely. Oh yeah, by the way, we live in Los Angeles, so we're a little biased here when it comes to this, just because this takes place in, close to home. All right, Ryan. So, watching the trailer, what'd you think of the trailer?
I liked it. I thought that the trailer just grabs you right away. It brings you back to the 80s. It sets up the scary scenario about what's going on in the backdrop of LA. And I think it doesn't disappoint. It really just tells you the story and what a scary docu series this actually lived up to be.
So you're saying the trailer met your expectations after watching the series?
Totally. Yes, completely. I was ready to be spooked.
I liked the trailer. I was fascinated for sure. But it sort of left me wanting more.
Okay.
Yeah, I was looking for more backstory on Richard. I understood it was like the detective's perspective, which is cool and very interesting, but it didn't it didn't give to me. It didn't feel like it gave sort of like a complete story of the whole thing. It was missing, I think, his side of it more. Not saying that, you know, you need to shed some light on him, like in good light or whatever. But I think for the most part, docuseries or documentaries like this, most of us think of why they do these things. You know, we want to try and figure out, you know, what causes them to sort of like turn in this sort of like direction and
Yeah.
do this way. And this didn't even give, I think, one little glimmer or one little um,
Well, they
inkling
did talk
of
about it.
how.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, a little bit, but
a little
very
bit, but you're right.
very rushed,
I
very
felt the
rushed.
same. Like I wish they had gone more into his upbringing and brought
Yeah,
up the information about his family. Like I
yeah,
noticed it was a excuse me. I noticed it was like a quick couple sentences that they mentioned about the issue with his uncle and his brother about
yeah.
the war and whatever. But yeah, I really wish they had gone more into that and to see maybe what he was like as a child at school. Did he have any friends? You know, maybe some of his teachers, something like that. I think a lot of that was missing.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, is that what you wish they would have gone more into? Is that a topic that
Yeah,
that they completely missed?
exactly. Yeah, I think they totally just did not get into that for whatever reason. Maybe they couldn't find the information
Right,
or
right.
it was too
Yeah,
hard to dig up. But yeah, I really wish they would have done something more to that effect.
yeah. Have you ever seen Mindhunter on Netflix?
I love Mindhunters.
Yes, yes. How great is that show? For those who don't know, it's sort of like the early days of the FBI when they started incorporating psychology into their methods when they interview serial killers and try to really figure out, you know, why they do what they do, their as far as like their backgrounds, and start
Yep.
creating profiles on these people. And
Yeah.
I was hoping to get a little bit more on that out of this
Same.
series.
Same.
Because I mean, they had recordings, you know. I mean, he did.
Right.
We did listen to some of his recordings, but they didn't get too far into it. I mean, I think it's just, you know, a big miss for me.
Yeah, I really think that they did whiff big on that, and unfortunately, I wish I can find out what the real reason was is that wasn't put in, and I'm sure we'll find out later. But it
Right,
would have been great to have that information.
right, right. So going from a topic you think that they would have gone into to the part of the docu series you feel grabbed you the most. What do you think that was for you, Ryan?
For me, it was when Detective Gill was able to link the connections with the shoe. I thought that was really cool. How they showed his board and how he had everything kind of lined up, and it was able to start aligning everything together, and it felt like you were a part with him with that journey to finding someone and getting the actual serial killer.
So what grabbed me the most was when he finally got captured, because I had no a clue that it was the, you know, people in the neighborhood actually grabbed them, mm,
That was
hit him
really
in the
cool.
head. Yeah, hit him in the
Yeah,
head
yeah,
times with a steel pipe. And yeah, man, it's pretty awesome. I love that sort of like street justice kind
yeah.
of thing, you know. And he was so lucky the cops came
Right.
and picked him up when he did, because they're gonna, like, one of the witnesses said that they were probably gonna finish him then and there.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
sure
they
they
took,
would have. It seemed like
yeah.
they were all like taking turns.
Yeah, or probably wanted to, right?
Yeah,
I know
lining up.
someone had mentioned to go get go get your gun or something like that, but he went to the wrong neighborhood and East LA, man, I'll tell you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I guess he was trying to get to his brother's house, and he just tried to carjack someone.
Yeah,
And
I remember the carjacking, right, exactly.
yeah,
It was some
yeah.
lady, right?
Well, he tried to carjack a gentleman first, and he wrestled with him a little bit.
That's
and
right.
got
That's
away.
right.
Yeah, that's when
Yeah.
he went towards the woman, and the woman
Yeah.
wasn't having it either.
Right.
And
Yeah,
luckily, there was
East Los.
East Los, man. Luckily, there was someone nearby and heard the commotion, and
Got involved. Yeah,
got
started jumping
involved.
in.
Yeah, yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, well, I think what was more interesting is basically that is where he lost his power. Like he's like a vampire. Like in the daylight, he has no power, man.
That is
He's
true. Yeah.
he
It
is yeah.
started fading
He,
away.
yeah, he lost his power. He lost his sort of control that he usually has during the night, where he's more scary. And he doesn't seem to like confrontation when people stand up to him. I mean, even from like one of the first cases that they were talking about, where the roommate of the woman he shot sort of
Uh-huh.
like confronted him in a front door, and he just didn't bother trying to do anything to her and just sort of like walked away. Do you remember that?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And they even mentioned in there how that was what he got off on was
Yeah,
watching people fear. Like he would wait
yeah,
till they were
right.
scared and then finally, pull the trigger or commit the act.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He was very agitated at the end. He said that they caught him in that way, and he said he wanted his pistol so he can make everybody scatter. In other words, he lost
Yeah.
his, like I said, he lost his power.
Right. Yeah. He was like, they're not so tough if I have a pistol. And I'm like, well, yeah, of course. Like, well, who is? Like that's
Yeah,
not
but I'll tell you what. Even though he had a pistol, I'm sure there'd be a few other people that
Oh,
that,
yeah,
that probably like still grab him or something,
for sure.
regardless.
Because by that point, you can tell they were completely frustrated and they just wanted to invoke justice themselves and get this over with.
Yeah, indeed. All right, so now I guess any sort of like down parts of the show of the series, anything we wish they would have left out. For me, it got a little repetitive when they kept on showing the different cases
Brad Pitt.
because they were all very similar.
Right.
And I think we already had his MO, how he operates.
We kind of got his we kind of got his story now. Like we know what he likes.
Exactly. Yeah, the
Yeah.
shoe stuff was interesting.
Yeah.
But it like I said, it was repeated quite a few times. I think they really could have brought this series down from 4 episodes to 2, and it would have been fine. Or they could have
That's a
added
good
something
point.
else, like we talked about,
Right. His
more
childhood.
more
Yeah.
his childhood, or maybe his family or something.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah, something a little more on the other side of things. It sort of seemed like there was quite a bit of filler when they recreated those scenes. They seemed to go a little slow. They
Yeah,
seemed
that
to
was
stretch them out. They stretched them out a little bit.
right. That was exactly my part of the docu series that I wish they kind of either did better or leave out in general. It just seemed a little too lifetimey, unsolved mystery reenactment. Like it just didn't
Yeah,
need it, or either do it better. It just made
or
it
probably just a
extra
little less.
gory or
You know,
extra
they
cheesy.
Yeah, they didn't need so much of it. I mean, I understood it;
Right.
it was fine, but it just seemed like a little overboard.
Yeah. Like by that time we already got it. Like we're gonna see blood. We know he's gory. Like okay.
Now we're on to the looks of the series, the cinematography, the graphics. How did everything look to you, Ryan?
I thought everything looked great. I thought it was really cool that they were able to pull up old news coverage and show all the stuff that was going on back then with the hairstyles, the
Yeah,
clothing. Like it really caught the
brought back
80s.
some memories.
It really did. It really
Yeah.
did. Some loud colors, some shirts. Whoosh.
Yeah, I thought they had some pretty good interpretations of the crime scenes. The CGI stuff looks sort of realistic, but not really. I think they did a
Yeah.
good job on that. The imagery and the sort of the graphics were easy to follow and understand, which is good in this on these docuseries, these crime docuseries. Like you said, the old footage was good to see. Bring back memories a little bit for being old fogies, right, Ryan?
Right? Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Brought
yeah.
a little twinkle in the eye.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the end, Ryan. Did you like how they wrapped up the series?
Yeah, I really did like how they wrapped it up. I think it could have been wrapped up a little sooner. But other than that, I think that the story itself gave for a good ending. How the neighbors got together to bring him in, and it was just nice to have it end. There's no cliffhanger, and that's what I really liked.
Yeah. Well, for there's a little bit more to it after he got captured. I mean, they did the whole trial, which was interesting, or I guess like a glimpse of the trial.
Right.
But what was probably more interesting for me, it was the groupies. Was how they showed, you know, how he had
Yeah,
followers and stuff.
that was funny to me. Yeah, I was like, wow, typical LA like following
It's
thing. You know,
it's it's really not just LA, man. It's I think it's
it's
just
true.
sort of the glamour spotlight kind of thing that people gravitate towards for some reason.
Yeah,
No matter how insane
because they were coming
or
from everywhere.
yeah, no matter how insane or evil or whatever. I know it's not just girls, it's guys too.
True. Yeah.
It's they just like that popularity, celebrity spotlight thing for some reason or another. It's always been around, I guess. And imagine now with like social media how much more
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
exaggerated it'd be. It's yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, there's, people have followers no matter who they are, as long as they're famous or
Right. As
popular.
long as they're known for something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Or not known for something.
Right.
Kardashian. Let's be
Right.
Kardashian. All right, Ryan. Would you watch this series again, and how many times? If so, how many times?
I would not. I would not watch it again just by myself, but maybe if I'm introducing it to someone, sure. Really, no, I'm not interested in watching it again. Only because it was scary and like I did have a good time watching it and all. But you can only rewatch the same story in the same case so many times. So it was. Don't get me wrong, it was good, but I just don't have really interest in watching it on free time.
Well, I did see this again because my wife wanted to see it.
Um,
She's the one who's actually more interested in all this crime drama docuseries stuff. She's the one that gets me into it. So
nice.
it's yeah, even like we were talking about Mindhunters earlier. She got me into that totally. So yeah, she wanted to see it
Oh,
and she liked it. But I think I would watch it again. I think after watching it a second time, I saw it more, critically than the first time.
okay.
All the heaviness, sort of just like the heaviness of the topic, sort of uh, went away a little bit,
Okay,
and sort of
it wasn't as heavy the second time?
yeah, exactly. And your
Okay,
perspective sort of changes, and you pay more attention to like the clues or the facts,
that
themselves.
makes
So
sense.
yeah,
True.
I wouldn't mind watching it again.
Okay.
Okay, Ryan, it's rating time. So we go 1 reel to 6 reels. 1 reel is garbage. Two
Yep.
reels is not good. 3 reels is okay. 4 reels is worth your time because it's 4 reels. Get it? Yes.
Yep.
Very good.
It's worth your time.
5 reels is great, and 6 reels is basically a perfect movie. So let's go ahead and do our little calculations here. Stick it in the computer, push some buttons, pull some levers, turn some knobs, flip it upside down, throw it up in the air, juggle
Smash
it a little bit, spike it, and here we go. Ryan, what is your rating for this docuseries?
The verdict.
I will give it a 4.5 to almost a 5, only because it is definitely worth your time and it is almost great, but I don't know if you're going to want to watch it over and over just because the subject is a little heavy and they do repeat it a lot and a lot and a lot during the whole docu series. But it is definitely a good watch.
Yeah, I'm just about there with you. 4 reels. I think it's worth your time to watch. Like I said, they could have brought it down to I think 2 episodes and it would have been just as fine, or they could have add a little bit more, had a different take on it somewhere. I mean that they had four episodes, man, to really get into more topics than probably just the law enforcement side of it. But
Yeah, with 4, it's like, give me something different. Don't give me the same repetitive
Yeah.
as the last 2.
yeah, I think it was good though. It was definitely worth watching. I'm glad I saw it. It was very
was.
interesting. Okay, Ryan, that is it. That's the docuseries. That is Night Stalker. Thank you everybody for joining us, and I guess we will be seeing you next time.
Yep, that does it. Another wonderful episode. Can't wait to do it again. See you next time, Eric.
See you next time, Ryan. Bye, everybody.
This has been another episode of Real Streamers with Eric and Ryan.